Welcome to today's reading on what they want from you. So today's reading is timeless. It's, I guess you could say, messages from Spirit. Spirit has chosen the subject of this reading, as they do most of the videos. We have 4 groups for you to choose from here today. We have group 1 with the rose quartz. Let's hold it up so you can see it. Yeah, the rose quartz. Group 2 with the spirit quartz. Group 3 with the Rhodochrosite. And we have group 4 with the Rhodonite. So you can take a moment to choose your pile, whichever feels most comfortable for you, and use the timestamps in the description box to jump ahead when you're ready. And we'll get started with group 1. Okay, welcome group 1. If you chose the rose quartz crystal, then this will be your reading today on what they need from you. For this first group, we have the 8 of Wands. There's something coming in here really quick, and I can't tell what it is, but we also have the 3 of Pentacles, and I actually wonder if it's like a coming together or a joining. For some of you, I did feel like it could potentially be a new relationship coming in with a situation for some people of like blended families, where there's been that new beginning or safe haven is being sought out, and it's entering into something more reciprocal here. For others of you, I feel like there's someone in this group that has a really strong creative passion or drive for creative projects here, and I think that what you've got is really good, and it's like Spirit will propel you forward really quickly, and you may, I don't know if it might be overwhelming, it might not be, depending on you as a person, but it just seems like it's going to take off really quickly, or it's going to be hard to keep up with or something, or you might not feel like you're really prepared for it. It's just going to happen. It's just and it could be like a blend of those kind of different scenarios or energies coming together as well. Yeah. For some of you, I feel like there's like a type of, I don't know if I want to say like notoriety or a type of recognition or something like that. I don't know. I almost get a feeling of like 6 of Wands, where it's kind of like, maybe develop a really good name for yourself, but it seems to take off overnight or something, where it may confuse you how it's just come on overnight, but it's like it just happens, and yeah, it just takes off on its own, almost like it has a life of its own. Okay, so just gonna grab more cards. For some of you, the Spirit's asking you to be gentle with yourself during that time of really fast forward movement, or that like almost expulsive type movement. It's like intense, rapid movement forward. It might be overwhelming. There might be like a strong sense of urgency to try to keep up with it and not feeling prepared. But I think Spirit just wants to like reassure you that, I don't know, I think it's kind of like out of your hands. It's just, you can only do what you can do, and I think Spirit will kind of be there to lead the way or to catch you when you fall or something. You've got to trust that there's like a better or a different outcome. Yeah. And for those of you that are entering into newer relationships, it might feel like a bit of a gamble. I don't know, I think that probably usually, I don't know, maybe it doesn't feel like that for everyone, but entering into new relationships is almost always a bit of a gamble. It's kind of like starting a new job. We don't always know how it's going to pan out, but that's just part of life. It's just, yeah. Okay, we did have the devil pop its face out before, and I just wasn't sure if it was really for this reading or not. So, but it's actually come out again, so it's definitely for us here. There is some sort of situation for this group where there's a, I don't know, there is a dynamic I'm kind of picking up on here where it seems like there's this other person. I don't know if there's what this is. I feel confused, and I feel like I don't want to look at it, or I don't want to acknowledge the situation that I'm in. So I'm not sure if that would be relative to you or this person here with what they need from you. But they could be experiencing a lot of like negativity, leaving them in an isolated position where they're having to dig deeper. And I don't know, this could be a few different things for a few different people, because that seems like a fairly typical kind of position for that people could be in. But I guess what I would say from them, what they need from you, is for you to take a chance on them. I want to clarify this. I want a little bit more information, because it's hard to know right now if what they need from you, is this what they think or what they really need? It's what they really need. Okay. Do they need them to help that? No. I think this person may have there's a person here who has a blurring of the boundaries of a healthy work ethic, where they might be like a workaholic, or they might pour everything into their work, or they might really criticize themselves over things not going well, or yeah, I'm not sure what this is here. Or an unhealthy relationship to objectivity, where they almost deny their own humanness or the experience of the world around them through trying to be so objective that it no longer acknowledges such a big part of our lives. It almost leaves them feeling really fragmented, like there's nowhere for them to go, or that they don't belong. And so they're learning to, I think they're learning to like take it in their stride. Part of it's like a really realistic quality or factor here, and part of it is almost so tunnel vision that it can leave them in a space of that mental rumination that can have quite negative effects or ill effects. And it puts us in a position where we're having to draw on the strength regardless of our surroundings, because of that like negative or mental rumination or feeling stuck or something like that. Not seeing a way out, not seeing a possible or probable solution for the situation at hand, something there. So I'm getting something else here for some of you. You may be getting like a message that comes in really quickly, and there might be like a lot of anticipation around it. It could really have the potential to take off in any direction, and no one knows what it would, like what the outcome could be. I think everyone is guessing or in suspense. And so like on one side of it, we have a person here who is just trying to create steady foundations and relationships with those around them. And after having to navigate to a place where they're able to do that, are needing like this reciprocal relationship. But I feel like for most of my audience here today, that's probably most likely the case for you here. But it could be that the energy is flipped, and so for some of you, there's a person here that's needing reciprocity in relationships, so they might be actually needing some help and vice versa, and you have the ability to help each other. But for others of you, there's a scenario here. Some of you, it could be like spirit is redirecting this person's life, and so this person may come in really quickly, or they may be on the other end of whatever this news is that comes in. So they're on the other end of it, and it's already got them in their head, and they already don't know what to do or how to maintain like a type of stability here or functionality. Just, it's like a baseline level of survival, functionality or stability. There's something, I don't really know if this looks like homelessness, loss, really ill health, or just total social isolation, almost like being locked or blocked out of a community, something like that. For some of them, it has the potential to be like kind of serious. I don't think this seems like an energy that probably shouldn't be like reduced in a way there either. So but on the other hand, I feel like it could have that potential to be pretty toxic at times. And so for some of you, it's not really about a relationship, or maybe you're in a relationship, but it's not really about, say, you and your person. It could actually be like what you need from yourself, and what you need from yourself is a type of stability and groundness that you're only going to get from you. And I feel like it's kind of a harsh message to bear, because you've already had to be so strong, and you're only, I feel like maybe you're only in this place because you've already had to like really endure things that have kind of worn you down to a degree, or put you in this position because of the things you've already had to be strong for. But I think what it is that spirit is saying, like, do not give up, like keep fighting. So or even if it's not keep fighting, it's just keep track of that like inner strength. And they also want to say that sometimes like being vulnerable is the strength, but there's a big there is a strong call to remain grounded. Yeah. Okay. Alright, so I'm just going to take a moment and see if I can get anything else here. Yeah, this reading seems like it could almost be split for like 3 different people, or it's like 3 different different things that they need from you for the same group. So I think the 3 things that we're picking up on is like reciprocity, endurance or persistence, and love. Yeah. I do feel like there is a small group here where what they need from you, it's like spirit is also coming in here with this last part, and what spirit needs from you is for you to let go a little bit so that they can come in and kind of do the work. They're saying like it doesn't matter where you end up, if you can let go and let us like take the steering wheel, then we can best help support you where we can at the time, instead of just staying stuck or stagnant. And so that being the case, they're asking you to let go, but to stay strong enough to be able to let go, if that makes sense. Okay, that's everything that I have for you today, Group 1. Hopefully that was helpful in some way, and I'll see you all in another reading. Thanks. Okay, welcome group 2 to today's reading. If you chose the Spirit Quartz, then this is your reading. We have the Hierophant card here. For some of you, this person could have a Taurian type energy. Some of them could be teachers. Some of them could be a person in a position of like influence. Some of them could be a mentor. I think we already said teacher or guidance, something like that. This person could be a person that is trying to pass on aspects of like the higher self or higher states of consciousness or awareness. That higher teachings, I think, is what it really comes down to. And the Spirit Quartz makes perfect sense with that, because it is connecting with our higher selves and the higher ethereal realms. Do you know, this seems like a really integrated version of like spirituality on earth that's very grounded. But I also feel like the Spirit Quartz could be in terms of mediumship. So for some of you, it's actually mediumship. So I don't know if this means that what they need from you is some type of mediumship ability or skill, or if it's the people that are wanting something from you are wanting you to use that. We'll keep going and we'll see what else we get. I think there's some sort of like mind-blowing or groundbreaking realization or epiphany that you may experience, or that's what they need from you. And so for some of you, going to kind of be that spark of inspiration for this person that makes the penny drop, and then all of a sudden they're left in this energy where it lights up their mind and they have no way of like shutting it off. They can't ignore it, they can't deny it. There's no way that they can't acknowledge what they've experienced or, you know, bore witness to. And it just, I think it's absolutely like fulfilling. It lights up their life. It makes their day, it makes their week, their year, their month, like what years, I don't know. I think it makes them forget about a lot of their problems. I think it might make them feel really special to have this type of connection. It might make them feel like they have a type of wealth that is not physically there, but it's like having abundance through, I want to say like health and like a healthy gratitude. It's just like in being in such awe of life, and they just have no choice, or they're like, they can't bring themselves to do anything other than just like revel in it and get to work, because it's showing them the path that they want to go down. So it's like all they're going to do is just work and pour everything into it that they can. They're going to show up every day. They're going to be dedicated. They're going to be dutiful. They're going to be committed. They're going to be like researching the best ways to do different things. They're going to be applying themselves practically, and they're actually going to take it to a point of business and making money from it. And they're going to be successful, or bountiful is the word that I got. Like a bountiful harvest. So I think they'll actually do well in it. So for some of you, what this person needs from you is the actual inspiration. You're just going to show up. It'll be pretty spontaneous. I think it'll happen on its own, but that's kind of why you're in their life and what they need from you. And then for others of you, it's like you are the medium, and it's them being able to connect in a way that honors themselves, even if it's like work to you, but it brings a lot of abundance to everyone. I don't know how to really explain that other than that. And yeah, mediumship seems to be like a really strong theme here. Okay, so anything else? I'm just getting something about like the possibilities are endless, like the endless possibilities. Like they just can't even imagine. Yeah, so for some of you, you may teach this person. You may be teaching mediumship, or some type of like spiritual development group or course. Maybe you mentor this person and take them under your wing. And what they need from you is this mediumship skill to be able to move on with their life or progress, or to be able to like actually climb the stairs towards a higher state of consciousness, or towards like a physical type of like wealth, or both. I think it's both. But this all seems like beautiful. Like there's heaps of good, healthy, happy energy here. People that have like genuine, pure intentions. They want to do the right thing. They're going to do everything they can to honor it and to push forward. I think they're very determined. For some of you, this could be a reading talking about yourself. And so it's like what spirit needs from you is for you to honor stepping into this mediumship. And it means applying yourself, and it means lending your brain capacity and your quiet time to the possibilities, to those endless possibilities that we talked about, outside of what you know to be true in the physical realm. And that I think when you get there, there won't be an inch of any of it that you can't see, where the light doesn't touch. You'll understand it all. Yeah. And it reminds me of like when you go to the other side of the veil, or like in the universe, and everyone is like just orbs of light, or like light bodies or light beings. And we all know and understand. You will have that experience. There's definitely higher states of consciousness energy here. Yeah. Okay. And I think that like what Spirit is saying is that I think for most of you, you'll go to work, you'll make this a business, and you'll make money from it, and you'll probably get those good rewards. They're like sizable rewards or something like that. And I think there is going to be people here where maybe you try to launch a business, maybe a business. I don't know. I feel like there's a small portion here of people that like maybe, I don't know if you like don't try to launch the business or something. It seems less about the business, but like maybe whatever this endeavor is just not as successful monetarily. And maybe what happens is that you're kind of still perfecting this craft and showing up all the time. Maybe you present it to the world in a way that's not like a straightforward, typical small business that we see. But Spirit finds a way to remunerate you for your services rendered. Yeah. Okay, yeah. That's everything that I have for you today, Group 2. I hope that this is helpful and what they need from you. Take care of yourselves. I am getting an extra message here to make sure that you're keeping your energy clear, especially doing this type of work if you're new to it. Plenty of good resources online, and I'm sure there'll be a million, maybe not a million, I haven't looked into it. I'm sure there would be lots of good YouTubers that have good information on this, that topic of like cleansing energy, if that's something that you're looking into. It's you're getting like the green light to be enthusiastic and go look into it as much as you can. Good luck, take care, and I'll see you all in another video. Thanks. Welcome, Group 3, to today's reading, which is going to be what they need from you. If you chose the Rhodochrosite, then this will be your reading. There's definitely a person here who's wanting some type of love from you, and I did get something about the Lovers card as I was putting the card and the crystal on the desk, and I don't actually turn the cards upside down until I do the reading. Otherwise, I just face them upright if I want to look at them first, or I will, face the card upright, and I might take a moment to look at it before I start pulling more cards, so I can work out where I'm at before I start speaking. So it's spontaneous what is coming through at the same time as I'm pulling cards. This group definitely seems like there's an emotionally healing type of new romantic love interest relationship coming in for you. I'm getting something here to the effect of like jackpot. So for some of you, this is like your person, this is your it person, or they're just gonna like come in with such like energy that, or such impact on your life. Or even if, I don't know, like, you know, this can look different for everyone. Maybe it's not a super long-term relationship, but it's super healing in the time that you spend with them. But I feel like it's all knowing, all loving, all compassionate, all passionate. Don't be put off by the word passion, because it doesn't have to be the types of physical intimacy that we're used to hearing about. You can still have a passionate relationship without it having to look that or be a certain way. So what we might do, okay, so we've got a couple of energies here that I just want to touch on. So we have Gemini, we have Cancer, Pisces, Virgo, maybe Taurus, but Gemini again and Cancer. Yeah, okay, cool. No stress if those zodiacal placements don't resonate with you. I'm also getting like Sagittarius and Capricorn now, but it doesn't matter if they don't resonate with you, because it could just be the types of energies that we're looking at anyway. So yeah, okay. Let's see. Okay, so I just see like Cupid's arrow just being shot. So I don't know if this is only just happening now, or it's recently happened, or it's about to happen, but it's like that first initiative step has been taken, and you may not have experienced that physical manifestation of what that looks like yet, but it's like it's beginning. This is the beginning point. For some of you, you may already know who this person is. I don't know if I will, yeah, okay, we'll just keep going. All right, so for some of you, maybe experiencing lots of feelings, clouded judgments. Some of you, it may not be any of that. It might just be like hard to see, hard to tell if this person is like a lover or a friend or a foe or like a fighter or something. Like it's hard to see who they are. Or it might be hard to see past the magic or something, like, I don't know. I think Spirit just wants you to know that being yourself is going to be one of the more important parts here of showing up in like a balanced way, and the ability to express that. They're also saying something here about anything that you haven't done you need to do, and I don't know what that could be in reference to. For some of you, it could be working with like anything below the surface here. Sometimes I kind of get a lot of fourth house energy with the moon, with Cancer. And I think the moon is like typically a Pisces card, but for me it's like really strongly Cancer. And it's like, you know, there might be stuff like different beliefs that we had around relationships and families from when we were really young, that we grew up with, or from our parents, that have kind of clouded what we see in reality, and we might like reflect them back onto the outer world, almost like a type of projection. And then when it comes back to us, it's kind of muddled because it was never really clear in the first place, and that's okay. And I think at this stage, most of you are probably aware of it, and if you're not, this is how they're letting you know. And that's just a normal part of, I think, that human experience that can be a little bit disillusioning at times. there's like actually a strong water energy here too, and I am starting to pick up on more Scorpio energy as well. But I don't think they're saying that you're doing anything wrong here, or that your person, if that happens to be their energy, is doing anything wrong. I think they just want you to be aware that while we're experiencing relationships, that it's something to keep in the back of our mind, or be aware that it can sometimes play a part or a role in our experience. Yeah. But they're also trying to highlight the beauty of the experience, the individuality and the uniqueness of it, of each relationship, of each person, of ourselves as people. The small moments that matter the most or a lot, even if they seem really insignificant. I think it's all part of that bigger picture. And I think when you're feeling lost, they want you to remember the bigger picture. I'm almost going to end up saying like every zodiac sign here, but I'm almost sort of getting like Aquarius sees the bigger picture, something like that. Anyway, so yeah, so when you're getting lost, they want you to try to look for the bigger picture, if that makes sense, if that's helpful. Yeah, I think you just take what resonates, and if there's anything here that doesn't, don't try to make it fit. Just save it for the other people in the group that it would be for. And so with that, there's like that little bit of a history, or a little bit of a predisposition, or how we feel or how we experience the world, like the filter in which we experience the world, and that we're doing the work that we can. And there is like a level of manifestation here as well, and working with the energy and working with ourselves and transmuting what we can. But this is also being in the state of an actualized being. To be able to transmute is to be actualized, is what they're saying. Yeah. Which is really bizarre of an energy, because I feel like I don't know if they're just trying to say it's kind of like being mindful and being aware. It doesn't matter. Anyone can transmute energy. I think as long as you are, yeah, maybe you are being mindful and aware. Okay. But they're like applying themselves, and they're, yeah. We're gonna, okay, cool. All right, so healing relationships, healing old wounds, filling in the gaps. I think I could imagine if you've got like, you know, been brokenhearted before, and I'm sure most people have in life in general, regardless of what relationships that tends to come from. And it's kind of like, I almost am getting the sense of like the broken heart, and then like all the Rhodochrosite comes in and fills in all the gaps and smooths them out, and like kind of makes it whole again, and brings in a whole new lovely energy that we hadn't experienced before. So for some of you, this could be a call to actually work with Rhodochrosite, and for others of you, this could actually just be like a symbol or a symbolic of what that relationship will do. I don't have the highest grade piece of Rhodochrosite. It's typical to have like the pink and the lighter shades of pink with like almost the, I don't know, like the lace type patterns. I don't know if I have a better angle that I can show you. Yeah, see that it's like kind of the crystal piece that I have is in amongst the actual rock. It's mostly the pinks, the different shades of pinks. Anyway. Okay, so moving on. So it seems to be like there's a bit of a backstory here where some of you may have been in a situation with a King of Pentacles that you chose to walk away from. So they might have just had a lot of security or a lot of comforts or luxury or something like that. Maybe they're very established, very routined, I'm not sure. But you made the decision to walk away, and it was a hard, long journey, but you do come into union with your person. For others of you, it's like you may step into that energy of being the King of Pentacles, but deciding it's not what's really most important to you in life. So you go on that, you know, you leave that behind. You go on that long journey to find what's most important to you. Others of you, it's like the person that comes in a King of Pentacles energy, and they kind of have that realization that it's not really fulfilling. And so it's like all coming back to that same conclusion that love is really like the end goal here. So it doesn't matter what you're walking away from, what's in the past. I think there's like a healthy acknowledgement of the things that we've experienced and that have I don't know, like the things that have set us up from the get-go, right? And knowing that we can, I don't know, we don't have to let it be the thing that hangs over our head forever. There's a lot of healing involved for everyone to be had. And in this case, and in other cases, we can do it together. So that's, I guess, what. So I think, if anything, I could say for some of you, it is you that is like needing this healing from another person. That will come in like the next relationship is what it feels like. Like it seems quick. I sort of get like 8 of Wands energy. I don't know, I can't remember what pile it was. I think group 1 had the 8 of Wands. So for some of you, group 1, if you already felt drawn to it, then I would go check it out and see if there's a message there for you, but it may not be. But I almost get that this will come in really quick. Like, yeah, I don't know. Or maybe it doesn't come in quick, but maybe like the sparks are just instantaneously there or something like that. Anyway, try not to get off track or get too ahead of myself. So I just think it's going to be meaningful, it's going to be impactful, it's going to be quite healing. Yeah, and so if you're not the person that needs this healing from the relationship, this is what that person needs from you. I think you'll end up ultimately being like a healing balm to this person. Just through the experiences that you've lived, you've learned how to transmute it, you've found that steadiness in your life, and you've worked out what really means the most to you, and that's what you're going after. And I think you can see the value in having like a relationship where this is how people live their lives, is really, you know, being there with and for each other, I think. So that's, yeah, it's really nice. Actually, I don't know why I feel called to like hold the 2 up side by side, because that's what it's gonna be. Almost, yeah, I wish I was a bit clearer, but okay, that's it. That's everything that I have for you today, group 3. Hopefully this was helpful in some way, and I'll see you all in another video. Thanks. Okay, welcome group 4 to today's reading. If you chose the Rhodonite, then this will be your reading for today on what they need from you. And the starting card that we have is the 3 of Cups. So there's like a lot of lovely energy in the 3 of Cups card here. But often Rhodonite seems to be healing of like deep wounds, and they sometimes can be traumatic, or maybe the origins are kind of trauma based. Even if the situation we're looking at isn't where it initially came from, it can have that tendency to be like a deep wound within ourselves. And there's a deeper type of healing that takes place when we work with Rhodonite. It's, I don't know how to explain it. I feel like sometimes it's dealing with fractures of the heart space. Yeah, it's like very deep wounding, like core, I want to say soul wounding is kind of the words that they're giving me, or some, yeah. Okay, anyway, I won't stay on that too much. And so for some of you, so this reading is going to come out. I'm just going to talk about it as though it's like one person, and for some of you it may be you that is needing this from this other person or these other people, and for others of you it's going to be this is what they need from you. So I think that this Three of Cups energy would typically be the overarching energy of what they need, what this person needs. And I think between filling oneself up to repair what they can, it's kind of, I don't know how to say it. I almost want to say that there's like already been a lot of like tough times had here, and that we really need to focus on like the light times, like having fun and the good things that fill us up to be able to move on. And I think that's why the Three of Cups is coming out here. We need good people, support, and good times kind of thing. And I almost want to say for this group that if you felt drawn to group 3, there could be something there for you. But I actually think for the majority of you, like I would only go check out group 3 to see if there's a message there for you if you're already drawn to it. But I think for most of you what it is actually a mention to work with Rhodochrosite. So these two can actually go hand in hand pretty well. I have a pretty typical piece of like Rhodonite for what that looks like. And they can look very similar, but my Rhodochrosite is not as good of a piece for what it typically would look like. Because mine's like a lower grade piece with like some more rock in it than Rhodochrosite. But it's more of like the pink and the white lacing than like the pink and the black. So I feel like there's going to be moments of like the deep core wounding that you might lean towards your Rhodonite, and moments of like ultimate healing that lift us up with the Rhodochrosite. And I think if you are a person who kind of intuitively works with like energies or crystals, you may already have something that you're drawn towards or that you know really works for you. And I would say just follow that. Don't trade in on your own intuition for what somebody else tells you. But it could be helpful for you if it's something that you haven't tried, or if you don't have that guidance. Okay. Alright. For some of you, I think that this wounding comes in forms of friendship more than other places. And so I see like a really confident young woman on her own doing her thing. And there's also like a really young, confident, maybe not as young, but still a reasonable level of like health, fitness, vitality, man who is also like leading the way. So I feel like when we talk about like men and women and masculine and feminine, it usually comes through in the form of an energy, and it can be switched, and genders are not necessarily that important in the roles that we play over the fact of we have a counterpart of each. But it's like two people coming together, and you know, one is just absolutely like stepping into her power, living in her highest vibrational pool of like being passionate about life, or like high on life or something like that, but being strong in her stance. And then this man that we have here, he's really wise, he's really quick, he's very discerning. I think he can spot a liar a mile away, and he can see the truth, like the true heart of a person in the actions that they take. He can spot hidden agendas without any words needing to be said, just through the actions that people take and the way that they carry themselves and the things that they go after. And I think that when the two come together hand in hand, they really make a great team. So it is talking towards like potential of a counterpart, which would actually line up with that other group for the Rhodochrosite. Now, for some of you, it's kind of like an evolution of self, or like a call on exercising your masculine and feminine energy here, where sometimes we are a bit more fun-loving and like just enjoying in the delight of like being in life. I don't know if that makes sense. But just like loving life and just experiencing it and being of it and enjoying it. And then sometimes we maybe need to be like kind of paying attention to the things going on around us and taking more actionable steps. But either way, both of these people are highly motivated. They're quite strong. They are confident. They know what they're doing and they're all about it. Now, we also have another person here to the side. And this person's, they could have potential to be a bit more of a loner. They could regularly self-isolate or withdraw from groups, or they could just be a person that they just enjoy their own time or their own solace or solitary. I almost heard confinement. So I don't know if I would say they enjoy solitary confinement, but they might just enjoy their own time and own company, or they might be looking for something deep within themselves that they don't have an answer for at this time, and I would pay it no mind that they are on their own. Although unless you feel like, I don't know, it's weird. I feel like this first one or two people feel very connected socially. They may be more extroverted in their approach or their sociability, whereas this other person could have more of an introverted nature, even if at times they seem outgoing. They mostly, I don't know, I almost feel like this person is kind of on an internal mission, and I do talk about the Hermit card being like a journey of deep introspection. So that would line up a lot. But I think this is like a deep, long-term energy that this person regularly goes into or lives in. I think it's part of their journey to go through these states. And I think for some of you, this could be a mirroring between this person and something that I think you'll find yourself in a position where you'll have to enact this as well. So this person, they could just be dealing with like a lot of headaches and a lot of heartache, or like breakdowns or stressful times or depression, or there could be any number of things here. I think there, for a small group of people, could be a bit of mental health stuff going on, a bit of betrayal, a lot of betrayal. Yeah. It's very stressful. They probably need all the help that they can get, but they're very much on this journey on their own as well. And so I don't know. Yeah. Okay, anyway. Now, going back to how it could be like a mirrored position, it could be, I don't know, it just seems so opposite. It seems so, if this is you and like one other person, I would just say like you're absolute opposites, and I was sort of hearing opposites attract. Like even down to the colors, where it's kind of like these bluer, greeny, cooler colors on this side, on the right side, and on my left side is like the warmer colors, like the yellows, oranges, and like even the pinks and a little bit of purple. But yeah, it's like warm and cool. And so like you might be, I don't know, you might be like a warmer person, and this person maybe comes off very detached or cool or something, or it could be the other way around. Just take it how it applies. And like when you come together, you actually kind of meet in the middle. It's more of like bringing saturation to the color. Like, I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's a good mixing of the warmth and the cool tones in the color. And it's bringing together all the things. I feel like some of you, it's like your heart is where the home is. Or home is where the heart is, yeah. And I think that these people hold significant value or comfort or security or like support or something. There's like something about this friendship is really significant to where I feel like it has been carried on for lifetimes. And Yeah, I think it really matters. There might be some core wounding around these friendships. Maybe, I don't know if it's stuff that's happened in past lives or now, or what, or maybe you've just done many lives together, and in this life there seems to have been some type of wounding that we're talking about. For others of you, it could just be that you finally reconnect with your soul tribe, and then it ends up being really healing of an experience for you, or it heals wounds from different things that happened when you were younger. Yeah. Okay, I'll just see if I can get something else here, because we're kind of getting a few like almost separate messages. This is a really bizarre message. They're saying they need you to do the things that they can't. And so I guess it kind of makes sense how we have like the opposites here. So like, you know, for the people here that have a lot of like fire or warmth or whatever that is, they're really confident. This other person doesn't really have those same things about themselves. Like, they're not extroverted, they're not like out there doing the thing. They're kind of withdrawn, dealing with other things, and I don't know. And then like vice versa, right? Like, you know, this person might be really introspective, and that's something that like you might not have as much of, whatever that looks like. So yeah, okay. I feel like we want clarity or more information. Like, what is it just balancing the two? Is it like a yin yang, male female? No. This person need from you. Right, so ultimately this person needs you to be steady and grounded in your approach to things. They want consistency, they want like stability, security. I don't know. Like a knowing, like just it's going to be okay. Yeah. Anyway, they want the truth, they want the clarity, they want the sharpness, the quickness, they want like the inspiration and the fun, and they want the like banter and the good times. They want a bit of healing here as well, which I think is evident. They want help in like carving out the wounds. They want help in carving out the disease in their life to be able to kind of like get to a stage of really good like health. And yeah, I feel like this person wants the adeptness. They want to be quick. They enjoy that kind of fiery nature. That, like I said, this could be you. So for some, I don't know, because this is like going both ways, right? For some of you, they just want this like really grounded nature that this other person has. But anyway, I think when the three of you come together, because this also could be three different people, we do have the Three of Cups card here. So we could have a person who is like really consistent, peaceful. They don't really like any boat rocking, and they just kind of want that same energy back, where like everyone's doing their thing, even if it seems a bit mundane, but it's that stability that we want and crave, and the security within the relationship, and they're very rooted in that, very rooted and established in that, and they're not going to budge, they're not going to compromise on it. That's who they are, that's what they want, and it's very calm. This person wants to protect their peace. They want to yeah, above all else, right? They need to feel safe in a protecting peace way. Okay, and then the next person just really wants like the utmost truth and nothing but the truth. And even if sometimes the truth cuts a little bit deep, and then I think sometimes they might come from a little bit of a clouded place, but ultimately like they're seeking that clarity, and they're wanting to cut away any driftwood or dead matter. They don't want to hang on to stagnancy or anything like that, or things that don't serve them. And so it's kind of like a different type and way of being. It's a lot quicker. I feel like they're probably a bit more of an effective communicator, but they could also come off brash sometimes. There's maybe a bit more logical, like left brain. Is it left brain? Yeah, I think it's left brain stuff here. Like a different type of thinking. Like these two people process things mentally very differently. Yeah, like I would almost be inclined to say that this King of Pentacles person doesn't have like an inner monologue. They just kind of do. Yeah. Anyway, and then we've got this Ace of Wands person here, and they just want to bring the flame. They want to bring the banter, the fire. They want to bring the, like, the, I don't even know what I'm trying to say, like the hot stick, the fun, the adventure, the spontaneity, like, let's go do this, yeah, and like building that, what is it, when you get momentum and inertia and stuff, they just want to like build and build and build and build, like, until there's so much of this like lively energy that it kind of explodes out. Like, it's just, it's like momentum of a good time, or momentum or excitement, or I don't even know if I could like say all the things it is. So like all three people here need different things. So like, yeah, like one person here is more focused on like fun and doing things, and another person here is more focused on like the truth at hand, and another person here is more like what they need is that peace, protection and stability. So hopefully this is helpful to you all in some way. Group 4, thanks for joining us in today's reading, and I'll see you all in another one. Take care.